From the Newstalk ZB newsroom, this is Newsfix.
In this update, the weather system called Lola has arrived. Cape Reying is experiencing wind gusts of 120 kilometres an hour, announcing Lola's arrival in Northland. Heavy rain and strong wind warnings are also in place for Auckland and Coromandel Peninsula. An orange heavy rain warning covers Tairāwhiti from early tomorrow. Met Service meteorologist John Law says, however, that high pressure will keep things generally fine, dry and settled in the South Island.
But things are going to get pretty messy up in the far north thanks to the remnants of Tropical Cyclone Lola and that other feature that moved in from the Tasman Sea.
The Financial Services Council says it's time for fresh thinking when it comes to KiwiSaver settings. CEO Richard Clippin says new research shows our settings are immature compared to Australia's savings scheme at the same point in their life cycles. Mr. Clippin says they're asking the incoming government to carry out a full review, including of contribution levels, to make sure it works for everyone.
People who are self-employed, people who have interrupted work patterns, parents who take off time to raise kids and so on, really does disadvantage people who have interrupted work patterns.
Friends star Matthew Perry has died at the age of 54. US media, citing law enforcement, report Mr. Perry died in an apparent drowning at his Los Angeles home. A source has told the LA Times foul play is not suspected. Despite the time clashes and the wind warnings, the Auckland Marathon was certainly a successful event. A record 14,000 runners took part in the event this morning, with the main event, 42.2 kilometres of racing from Devonport to Victoria Park. The fundraiser also smashed its $600,000 target for charity. Race organiser Amy McCormack says everyone turned out in full voice, from weekend warriors to elite runners. She describes it as an epic result to have such a strong number of people, particularly given the hectic winds. That's news. In sport, All Blacks forwards coach Jason Ryan is devastated to say goodbye to some of his charges on a losing note. Sam Whitelock and Brodie Retallick played their last tests in the All Blacks Rugby World Cup final loss to South Africa as they head offshore. Dane Coles is also winding up. Ryan says they're special people who've given so much to the jersey.
I've looked up to those boys right through, even coaching Super, and they've left their mark, and they're great New Zealanders.
The Black Caps are not too worked up about their agonising loss to Australia at the Cricket World Cup. After their first defeat of the tournament at the hands of hosts India, New Zealand came up just 5 runs short in chasing a mammoth 389-run target set by their Trans-Tasman rivals. The Black Caps are now looking for a bounce-back result when they play South Africa in Pune on Wednesday night. That's sport. I'm Joe Gilfillan.
For more news, listen to Newstalk ZB live on iHeartRadio.